Hello and welcome to a new series that I'm calling XCOM Mods of the Chosen. In this series, I'm going to be playing XCOM 2 War of the Chosen expansion with one additional little wrinkle. I'm going to be adding 248 mods. I've done a bunch of testing with this to make sure this is going to work properly and it's not going to crash the game too badly. But everything has run surprisingly stable. It's all worked really very well. It's a huge variety of mods. A lot of them are fixes to stuff that's, you know, just general little things to make sure that they're operating as intended rather than operating as they were. A lot of them are very corner case edge scenario things, but it's nice to know that that's not going to come up and bite us in the butt. There's a whole lot of cosmetics. Some of them are really good, and we're going to be playing around with those a bunch. There's a lot of quality of life mods. If you've played XCOM 2 at all, there's a lot of little things you may have thought of during your play if you hadn't played it modded that you'd think, man, it'd be really handy if, you know, I could just click one button and all my guys could evacuate at once, stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of stuff in that range. But on top of all of that stuff, we're also playing with a bunch of mods that adjust the AI to make it a lot more ruthless and effective. We're playing with a lot of mods that are going to be adding new enemy types. There are a few enemy types that were coded into the game and not used. It's going to turn those on, and there are a whole bunch more that it's adding on top. And some of them are pretty brutal. I haven't played against all of them yet, and I'm going to be excited to come up against them as we play together. One of the top mods, though, that we're playing with is the Proficiency Pack class mod that's going to change the 4 standard classes that the game starts with into 6. So if you played through XCOM 2 and you thought that the Grenadier class, you know, was torn in 2 different directions between fire support and explosives, well, now that's broken out into 2 classes. Same thing with the Specialist, who is now split out into Tech Specialist and a Field Medic. I played with this a little bit, and I think it adds it's an excellent balance, I think, and it's exactly where it wants to be. We're also playing with another mod that adds Psi Troopers, like the one seen on the splash screen here, from the beginning. And the Psi class was never super powerful, but it is fun to play with, and it's a shame that you don't get to play with it right off the bat, and this mod allows you to do just that. So that's a lot of fun. One mod we aren't playing with is the Long War, which is definitely XCOM 1 and 2's most famous mod made by Pavonis Interactive. We're not playing that one because the Long War, that war is just a little too long. It is grueling and it is super difficult. It's an excellently made mod. We're just not playing for this series. Now, that may sound like a lot of moving parts and pieces, and if you're wondering if the difficulty level is going to balance out there, from my testing, it looks like it will, but honestly, I've got no way of knowing until I get through to the end, so we're just going to run with it and see how it does. So for our game setup, I'm just going to go right in here. We're going to set it to Commander difficulty. Now, I've played on Legend before, I've beaten the game on Legend, and at the end of the day, Legend difficulty is just kinda unfun from my perspective. It's extremely punishing, and what's more, it encourages a style of play that is incredibly conservative to the point where doing anything outlandish and risky is just punished super hard. And sometimes I think the most fun plays are the high-risk, high-reward ones, and I like for those to pay off at least some portion of the time, and that means I can't really play on Legendary if I want to, or Legend difficulty if I want to. So I'm going to be playing on Commander. And again, I haven't played through with these mods all the way to the end. I don't know how difficult that's actually going to make it. I'm not going to be playing with tutorial or beginner voiceover. For Iron Man, I'm going to be doing a self-enforced Iron Man. If a mission goes badly for us, I'm going to roll with the punches, and I'm going to take nice memorial photos of our fallen soldiers. But when you're playing with this many mods, you don't want to enable Iron Man, because sometimes you will just glitch out. I haven't had that problem in my testing, but in the interest of making sure we don't run into a really nasty situation, I'm going to play Iron Man. I'm going to be saving obsessively when the camera's not running, and so that we don't lose any of our progress here to a bug or some sort of mod conflict that isn't apparent until we're, 20 missions into the game. And lastly, we're going to be running the War of the Chosen DLC. We're going to use the integrated downloadable content from the pre-War of the Chosen expansions, so it isn't going to have those guided missions, and I think that's going to make things run reasonably well for us. Like, we're gonna run into that. We're gonna run into a lot more stuff from the mods, so I'm not overly concerned about us missing out on that particular content. And if you've played it once, you've played it 1,000 times, fun as it is. So for this playthrough, I just want to describe the playstyle I'm going to be using real briefly. I'm not going to be skipping cutscenes, so it may be a little repetitive if you've played XCOM 2 a million times, but oh well, I think that's more fun for people who haven't seen that stuff before, and it's reasonably well done. While I'm on missions or at the strategic screen, I'm going to be talking about... my plan is to talk as I play in order to just provide some rationale behind my decision-making. I'm by no means an expert on XCOM. Another reason I'm not playing on the Legend difficulty. I make mistakes. I don't think my plays through super well sometimes, but I'm going to try to explain my reasoning. I'm going to be doing a bunch of customization with all the cosmetic mods that we've got running, but I'm going to be doing that off camera to, not waste your time, but I'll show off some of the stuff that turns out pretty well that I liked. I've already built up a bit of a character pool from customized characters using these cosmetics that I think is going to be fun. That said, all the real decisions that I'm going to be making are going to be on camera as I play. And the hope here is that we're going to have some unique characters and we're going to get attached to them. We're going to be able to celebrate their victories and mourn them when they're gunned down horrifically. So yeah, I'm hoping that's going to be... That's really one of the things that XCOM does really, as a series, does really well. It lets you get attached to these little characters that you create. So for this series, my goal is that these videos are going to be, an hour to an hour and a half long, and we're going to do one mission per, and then after the mission's concluded, we're going to do the strategic level stuff, pick research, send things on covert missions, build things, and then when a new mission comes up, we're going to pick our team, and we're going to cut the video there, and then the next video is going to pick up right where we left off with that same team about to go on that mission, and then we're going to do it all over again. One of the things I'm going to try to do for this series is I'm going to try to avoid using some more adult language, which is the real Legend difficulty here, if you've seen any of my other videos. And I'm not going to have a set release schedule for this. I mean, you might get 3 videos at once, and then nothing for 3 weeks. I can't make any promises. I'm a dad, I've got 2 kids, full-time job. I'll get it when I can, and hopefully I won't leave you guys waiting too long. if you like it. And I hope you do like it. So to get started with, we're going to just fire it up and get straight into a new game. And here we go.
Accessing the feed now. We're in. But I don't know for how long. You seeing this? Way too much security, even for Advent.
That's no ordinary gene therapy clinic. They were telling the truth.
Or they're leading us into a trap. A really obvious trap. We'd need an army to march in there right now.
I've got a better idea. Outrider, this is Central. Go.
Timeline you placed upon us, mistakes are bound to happen.
It wasn't our fault. Please!
There's no need for any of this. I will do what you ask of me. I just need additional time. Did you say something? You're one of those. You must understand, I had no choice.
Outrider, report.
So, you do exist. Outrider to Avenger, I have visual confirmation.
Are you sure?
Reapers are always sure.
I'll take your word for it. Cover your tracks and get the hell out of there. They can't know we were here. Yet.
Understood. Now the real war begins.
Excitement continues to build as city centers across the globe prepare for the 20th anniversary of Unification Day.
Thousands line up at the site of the Great Accord, celebrating the formation of the Advent Coalition.
Keeping with their promise to humanity, 12 new gene therapy clinics will be opening in select cities by the end of the new year.
Despite the attempted attack by fringe elements, operations at the new facility in Paris thankfully remain unaffected.
In response to the unprovoked intrusion on the eve of our most beloved celebration, the speaker reaches out to us.
A small number of dissidents again repeat the mistakes of the old world.
Striking as we celebrate a benevolent savior who time and again offers only friendship and compassion.
Yet these trivial actions could never break the bond between humanity and the Elders.
Peacekeeping forces have already made several preemptive arrests of known collaborators. Advent again assures all citizens that today's celebrations will continue as planned.
Perfect.
The Advent administration reminds you to report all suspicious activity to your nearest peacekeeper. Only together can we build a better tomorrow.
Approaching position. You were right. They've definitely got their hands full today.
Stay focused. Prep Gatecrasher. 60 seconds.
now.
Signal received. Loud and clear. Okay, Gatecrasher. Your turn.
All right, here we go. Operation Gatecrasher, first mission of the XCOM campaign. It's always sort of the same. You start off with 4 guys, 4 rookies, and you face 2 to 3 pods of some of the most basic enemies in the game. We're running character pool only, so all my guys are ones that I've designed previously, and I think they're all kind of fun. We'll take a second to see who we're working with before we make our first moves.
Menace 1-5. We have a fix on the target. Move to place the X4 charges at the designated position.
Alright, we always start off concealed on this mission, and that's nice. The fact that the pods are right next to the objective there, we got a quick peek at where they are, so we can move in pretty confidently knowing where they're going to be, at least for the next turn or so. So for our team, we've got Thor, got Playboy, Dentist, and Vicky. We'll take a closer look at them in the armory screen when we get back to the base, assuming they all survive. Hopefully they all survive. But I think I'm pretty happy with this group to start off with. So we'll try to move up cautiously. We'll stay in cover as best we can. If we can do so, it's best to try to only activate 1 pod of enemies at once so you can take care of them and then finish the others off. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a yellow move here just to widen out my field. That's a little risky because I know that they were there. I don't think Vision's going to reach all the way down here, but I prefer not to take any chances. If you've noticed that I can move my camera a little more freely than usual, that's another one of the mods that I'm running. So, just another one of those nice little quality of life things to be able to move the camera wherever the heck I want. Alright, so the fact that I'm not seeing anything here, I think I can just finish off this yellow move over to this full cover location.
These guys make up the bulk of the Advent forces we've dealt with. They're disciplined and well-equipped, but their obedience makes them predictable.
Squad of 3 troopers. We saw another one over here. That one's probably got an officer, so we're just going to need to be careful about that. We could probably move this guy right up here. That gets him a little closer and keeps him in full cover. The Dentist.
Menace 1-5, you're near the target position.
You'll notice that all these guys are starting off with 6 health rather than the standard 4 for commander difficulty. That's a nod to some of the increased difficulty that we're going to be facing from all the extra enemies that are being added by the mods that we're running. Now, what I'm hoping is going to happen during the Advent turn is that this pod is going to move towards us, and we're going to be able to open up with a grenade and some Overwatch. Kind of tempted to keep this guy up here just so I've got a good field of fire and an elevated position for increased chance to hit, but I think just full cover is probably better. And they're going to be difficult. Alright. So, it's always a little dangerous maneuvering this close, but we are going to want to get good sight lines, and this is full cover here with additional protection on that flank, so
position confirmed.
We're going to move Dentist up here. We see nothing new. So maybe this is our chance to fan out a bit, and hopefully if they do move back in this direction, we'll be able to get an effective ambush on them. I'm gonna move Vicky up over here. She's not gonna really have a good line of sight, but she's gonna be in a position to flank if they move down in this direction. And Thor, I'm just gonna overwatch.
Got it covered.
And actually, I should show off this mod is pretty cool right here. Smart Overwatch. By pressing this one, I can send the whole team into Overwatch mode. If they have 2 actions, they will reload their weapon first, and if they can't Overwatch, they will instead hunker down, which is just a great time saver. You also have the option of Smart Overwatch all others, so everybody except the one you've got does that. Which can be handy for setting up an Overwatch ambush, but we're just going to Overwatch all.
Overwatch.
Man, they are all really close. That's very tempting as a chance to grenade them. Let's see. Can I move these guys into a position where I can... So that doesn't get line of sight on them, and that's definitely not going to get line of sight on them. Nice thing about this mission is we have no timer on it. We can take our time. We don't need to force an error here. We just want to be careful and make sure that we're not going to screw this up. Losing a guy early on in this mission would be pretty painful. Because this is an opportunity to get 4 rookies up to squatty to start off with. And if you blow that can hurt.
I'm all over it.
So maybe these guys will keep moving in this direction, and then we'll be able to nail them next turn. So I'm going to Overwatch.
Reste en observation. Watch.
All right. That's good. That's good. Alright, so he does not have line of sight to them. So he's not a good opportunity here. He's got line of sight. Ugh. He's gonna be flanked by them. I'm worried if I move him too far back over here, he's not gonna have any shot at all. We'll just move him up here. We're potentially exposing our flank to the pod we knew that's down in this area, but my hope is that we'll be able to take them out quickly enough. I'm going to leave Dentist outside of Overwatch. I'm going to let Vicky throw the grenade here. So Playboy is going to Overwatch.
Tout de suite.
Thor is going to Overwatch.
I'm on it.
And Vicky's going to start us off with a bang.
Heads down!
That's 1 dead and 2 reduced to 1 health, so very nice. Not even close. Not even close. Ooh, that was a 91% chance to hit, and you still messed it up. Good job, fella. All right, 80% chance to hit, 28% chance. Well, that's not great. I was hoping that 1 would get got with that Overwatch. All right. So this guy up here is our easier target, but he's also the least dangerous. This one's already got a flank shot on Vicky and can easily get a flank shot on Thor. So I think what I want to do is I want to throw this grenade and just guarantee the kill. Which is a bit of a waste. But I still got 2 grenades left for the next mod. good.
Il s'acharne sur moi.
Oh, and there's the next pod.
The Advent officers
hope
seem
that they
more
would
capable
show
than
up
the
a little
Not sure
later
whether
than
to
that,
chalk it up
but
to training or stricter mind control.
Alright, so Vicky's used her grenade, Dentist has used his grenade, Playboy has not. Yeah, they're in a pretty good position against us here. So I think what I want to do is I want to move Thor up to get the kill on the guy from the last pod. Doesn't look like there's a position where he can get full cover, so I'll have to settle for half cover, but moving him up close here is going to give us a fairly high chance to hit. And he's still got his grenade, so if he gets this kill, he can help mop up the other guys. Very nice.
You want some more?
So now Playboy's the only one missing a kill. Gatecrasher in some ways is a really difficult mission because you're forced to use all rookies, and they're just so bad. Kind of tempted to move one up here. Vicky's not really in a position to get to full cover or to take a good shot, so I think I maybe just want to set her up for maybe a potential flank next turn. I could leave her here, and so if this guy tries to move in this way, she could take an Overwatch shot, but I think that's pretty unlikely. I think I'm better off moving her into a position where she's going to be more potentially effective next turn. And Playboy doesn't have any good shots. I don't want to move. If I move him here, he's going to get blown to pieces. So I'll move him behind the full cover here. Yeah, he's too far away from frag. Maybe next turn. 26%, that's almost a non-shot. 46. I'll roll the dice on 46% chance to hit. That's practically a coin flip. Nope.
Get it together.
And so I'm going to put Playboy on Overwatch to hopefully discourage the officer from trying to pick up the flank shot on Dentist.
Je reste en observation.
He's probably just going to mark. Yep. And that's going to increase his guy's chance to hit him. He's behind high cover, but well,
incoming fire.
There we go. There we go.
J'ajuste ma visée.
Oof. Okay, so Dentist is wounded. We need to make sure that he's not going to get deaded this turn. Right, Playboy's got a grenade. Thor's got a grenade. Who's on Overwatch? Oh, the officer's on Overwatch. That's a risk. That's a pretty big risk. I think somebody's just going to have to run out and bait the Overwatch shot. I think no matter what I'm doing, Playboy's throwing the grenade on this guy right here. Reasonable chance he'll kill him, and means I don't have to worry about this flank as much. So I'm just going to start off with this, and we'll plan the rest of our turn based on how that turns out. I want to be in a position where it'll destroy the cover if it doesn't kill him for a good follow-up shot. Yep, so it did not kill him, so... I don't want to move Dentist. I could move Vicky here to take the shot against this guy. I don't really like that, though. I think maybe I let Thor do that, because that doesn't expose him to the officer. And then he's in position to huck his grenade next turn. Oh, gross.
Focus.
Okay. Yeah, I think we gotta let Dentist try to take this shot to finish him off.
By the numbers.
Alright, that's good. And then Vicky. Oof. Could this guy potentially get that shot, a flank shot on Vicky if I move her here? Because I want to deny this Advent officer his Overwatch. Can't move her here. That'll get her shot. Thanks to the indicator there. I can't remember if that's a mod or not, but if it's a mod, that's a really good mod. I like that mod. Actually, move her here and then... No, because then she's in... I was thinking of moving her here and overwatching, but then that just puts her in that position there. It's just gross. If I move here, he has no vision on her. And she can get the Overwatch shot. Okay, I think I like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, she doesn't do anything this turn, but she's not exposed, and she could potentially ambush. Ooh! Oh no. Well, the Dentist is still alive, provided he doesn't get killed by this Advent Trooper here.
Moving around the side.
Oof. Well, he's bleeding out. He can still survive. Or did he just die there? No, he's still bleeding out. Okay. So I've got 3 turns to wrap this business up. What are my options? Not great. We can get a flank with Thor, we can get a flank with Vicky. Playboy's pretty far out of position. I've got 3 turns. I should use that time. Thor's hurt. We don't want to expose him to any more pain here. Problem is, I don't know if I move him here, can I get a grenade toss on the trooper? Because he's the only one with his grenade left. Or... I'll bet I can move him up here. He won't be visible, but he can still get the grenade. Alright, I like that.
Come.
There we go. And I don't care if this so this is another mod. It's showing us which guys have loot. I don't care if the grenade kills him and we lose the loot.
Take this!
Keeping my soldiers alive is always going to be more valuable, even if they're rookies at this point. Oh. Okay, that's another 3 damage on a grenade. This will give us the flank with Vicky. And she'll be protected from being flanked by the officer. That looks uncomfortable.
I found something here. That's right.
I don't like trying to take any of these shots, so I'm just going to move him. And actually, I'm going to move him 1 step away, so he's... yeah, I'll move him 1 step away so that he's not exposed. Alright, Dentist now has 2 turns left.
They're all over me!
Alright, Thor. I think we're in a position where we can point blank this. If you guys manage to screw this up, well, yeah. I think that's a good enough chance between possibility of critical hits, high chance to hit. Point blank range is still 85% chance to hit. That's rookies for you. All right. Ooh.
How many is that now?
Wow.
We're not picking up any inbound contacts. Scanners are clear. -15, we have a limited window to act before Advent responds. We need to get those charges planted on the double.
What am I doing with this?
Reçu 5 sur 5.
All right, and so we place this, and that Thor or the Dentist has 1 turn left, so he's going to survive. And we neutralized all enemy targets, so press the button, plant the X4, and that's mission accomplished.
-15, rendezvous at the extraction point. Status confirmed. Squad is clear. Detonating target.
Definitely not the best first mission, but no casualties is, I'm always going to count that as a good mission. We haven't taken any photos of our guys yet, so we're missing a few here. We'll take care of that a little later. And Vicky with our MVP, sneakiest, most assists, and overqualified. Not bad.
The Speaker commended loyal citizens today for standing up to those who would abandon our values for those of the old world. The remarks followed a moment of silence for peacekeepers slain by XCOM dissidents.
That is probably not the best photo we've ever gotten randomly. The Advent will burn. This photo taken from within a giant pile of leaves. Alright, everybody gets a promotion. Thor's down for 18 days. Dentist is down for 18 days. Thor's down for 11. Let's see, what classes are we getting? So Thor, this could be our field medic. And so the thing about the class proficiency pack is that you get all these abilities when you go to Squatty, and every class has a sort of passive ability that gets better as you rank up. Medical Specialist, you get additional charges on medkits. Pretty obvious. Additional healing ability as it goes. And we'll look at the others as we get to them. So Thor is going to be our medic. Playboy is going to be our tech specialist. His passive skill is protocol packages. He's got 3 different abilities. Aid protocol, which is giving a defense boost to everything within like 2-tile radius of the ally you're targeting. Blinding protocol blinds an enemy. Combat protocol does guaranteed damage to an enemy, doubles that damage. I believe it's 2 base, but doubles that damage if it's robotic, and that gets better over time. And as you go up, you get additional charges on the ABC protocol, Aid Blinding Combat. Cute, huh? It increases, and then after you use up the charges, it goes on an extended cooldown, which means you can use those charges and it's not gone forever. You just have to wait a pretty long number of turns. I think 6 turns to start off with. It's got remote repair for robotic allies, hack, obviously, which you can do with the gremlin remotely, and aid protocol. You'll notice that this gives him the bullpup weapon rather than an assault rifle, so that's something of a handicap, really, because the bullpups are not as good. Though they are more accurate at almost point-blank ranges than assault rifles are, so that's something. The dentist. The dentist is going to be our Marine. Okay, so Marines are the fire support class. They're going to focus on suppression and overwatch, and they can equip assault rifles, or they can equip cannons and light machine guns. He starts off with sustained fire, which means if he uses his first action to shoot, he can go into overwatch or suppress. Fire discipline here lets you set a threshold of chance to hit, and he won't shoot his overwatch shot until it hits that threshold. So none of that business where, he'll take a 5% shot against the first enemy that's moving on the other side of the map, and then, not shoot at the guy who was right next to him, which is nice. Additional bullets for your guns, and that applies to everything for the first level. Once he gets to Sergeant, it's going to be just machine guns, but still, that's very good. And a bonus to hit on reaction shots, and gains the ability to crit on reaction shots. And gains suppressive fire. And Vicky is going to be a assault infantry. So this is more like the traditional ranger class with shotgun and sword. They've got run and gun, they've got slash, but their passive is interesting. It's CQB dominance, which gives them bonuses to these stats if an enemy's within 3 tiles. As they rank up, that distance increases, and if they replace their shotgun with a bullpup, or if they replace their sword with a combat knife, it increases the range of the CQB dominance, which is interesting. So, if I don't care about the sword, I can replace it with a combat knife and get a lot of bonuses from that. Or alternatively, if I'm all about the sword, I can replace the shotgun with the bullpup, and that's going to give me that bonus as well. The 2 classes we didn't see here are the Grenadier, which is pretty much what you'd expect, shoot grenades from longer ranges and all that fun stuff, as well as the Sniper, which does exactly what you think it would do. We'll take a look at those when we get those classes. Alright, nothing super exciting so far. That's pretty good DCS to get right from the beginning.
Commander, to the research labs.
Let's jump right over to research, talk to Tygan.
Impressive, isn't it? Capable of generating immense power, yet completely harmless to human life. The If only the same could be said for the rest of the aliens' technology. Commander. Dr. Richard Tigan, Chief Science Officer. I am responsible for the entirety of our research here, as well as the procedure you so recently underwent. Welcome to my lab, such as it is. I'm not sure what Central may have told you, but we found something while removing you from the alien stasis suit. A device implanted directly in your occipital lobe. Had I access to the equipment available to me during my tenure at Advent, I would already know the precise nature of its function. However, given time and your approval, of course, Commander, I assure you, I will find out. Which brings to light an additional point. Though aspects of this facility are indeed impressive, I am but one man. Were you to direct additional support personnel and resources to me, I could substantially improve the speed of all our research. Farewell, Commander.
All right, so let's take a look at what research we've got to go with to begin with. Not a whole lot. So if you've played the Alien Hunters DLC, this is those fancy experimental weapons, but you got to research them now to get access to them. For my testing, I didn't love them, so I don't want to spend the time on it, at least right away, so I'm going to kind of ignore those for now. And I'm going to start off with... I'll just do modular weapons. We'll see about
I do
equipping
find
mods.
that area of research to be among the more intriguing options available. We'll begin work immediately. I'll send word when a complete report is available. I've started to wonder how the Advent administration views our current band of renegades.
I'm going to take a look at what we can build to start off with.
There's room for us to expand the facilities on board the Adventure.
Pretty much always the best first thing to build is the Guerrilla Tactics School, because by the time it's built, you might very well be in a position to buy that first squad size upgrade. Going from 4 operatives per mission to 5 is a huge jump, and obviously 5 to 6 as well. So that's basically the most important thing you can be doing, is increasing your squad size. So that's what I'm going to start off with here.
We'll start work on the new facility right away, Commander. I'll send word when it's up and running.
We don't have any engineers to start off with, so we can't start excavating.
Out some of these other rooms. We should recruit an engineer.
Jump down to engineering.
Okay. Reworked your repulsors with some of the parts I salvaged from their old engine. Should fix that stabilization problem you had. Come on, Rover. It'll work. Commander! Getting our tech to talk to theirs is harder than you'd think. Lily Shen, Chief Engineer, at your service. You were probably expecting to see my father. In all that's happened, I'm guessing Central didn't tell you yet. He's gone. Dad gave everything he had to get us this far. This entire ship is his life's work. I know he would have loved to show you around the place himself. He used to talk about you a lot. You can be sure I'm ready to finish what he started. Might not look it, but from here, I can fabricate pretty much anything you come up with. And with a little more help, well, you'd be amazed with what I can do. It was an honor to finally meet you, Commander.
Alright, so we can't really build a whole lot to start off with, so
you'd be surprised
maybe
how big
once
of a
the mission
difference some of these
starts,
things can make in combat,
first mission
Commander.
starts, we'll get a
With a few
flashbang or a med
supplies, I
kit
can
based on who we're
manufacture
bringing with
anything
us,
we need
but
in no time.
we'll see.
Dad sacrificed the only thing he had left to get this ship off the ground.
Let's take a look over here.
Commander, good to see you on your feet again. Welcome to the bridge, the nerve center of our operation. The aliens have our entire world in their grip. Advent controls everything. Government, communications, industry. Not to mention the military. And it's on us to take it all back. Resources and time are tight, Commander. It'll be up to you to decide how to best use both. The ship is yours.
Okay, starting off in New Arctic here. It's actually a pretty good number of supplies per turn. Can't really do a whole lot yet, though. I'm gonna jump back to the ship. We'll take a look at our soldiers, see what we got going on. So we've got our 4 from the first mission. Playboy, Thor, Dentist, and Vicky. We've also got a whole pile of rookies. Peppy, Dominion, Dane, Virus, Condor, Slaughter, Squick, Tsundere, and... well, that's not one of mine. I will be editing him later. So that's another mod, is the fact that you can do full customization on any of your guys right from the beginning, including giving them nicknames, which normally they have to get to, like, I believe, Corporal or Sergeant before they can get a nickname. So I prefer being able to give them some personality right off the bat, and if they get killed, well, that just makes you actually give a damn about rookies, which normally you wouldn't so much. So that's fun. Alright, so let's pop back. And we're going to go back to the map, and we are going to...
Commander, we're attempting contact with a local resistance faction known as the Reapers. These people like to keep a very low profile, so it may take some time before we hear back. While we're waiting, it might be worthwhile to scan the area for additional supplies and resources. You never know what we may find out there. Commander, one of our resistance contacts just tipped us off to a
site
no choice
in doing this. We're just gonna jump on it.
The Avengers' remote scanning capabilities will help us search the area for clues or other resources. It's going to take some time, though. We've got a lot of ground to cover.
Our research was a success, Commander.
I'll just jump into
I will begin our research immediately.
Keep scanning. Artyom Kozlov, Marksman, Squatty. Nice. Starts off that way. That's nice. He's another one that's not from my character pool, so I'll be customizing him off screen at some point. Our only other lead gives us some rookies, so there we go. You don't get a whole lot of freedom in the first month here. You kind of just go where they tell you you're going to go.
To be as intriguing as I do, Commander.
Yep, that's done. Now we can do ECSs.
Commander, during the course of our research, we made a startling breakthrough that has led us to another potential avenue of study. However, if we are to proceed down this path, we must do so immediately, or I fear we will lose our opportunity to return to it in the future.
This is really cool that we got this right now. So what this lets us do is it lets us pull mods off of weapons and reuse them. So we can be a lot more aggressive about using our mods on any weapons we get. And getting this right at the beginning is, man, that's just super handy. So we're definitely going to jump on that with both feet, because if we skip that, we lose the opportunity.
I'll have a report assembled as soon as the research is complete.
Commander,
all right.
As the resistance continues
our first
to grow,
guerrilla op.
We'll have a better chance of finding openings to strike back at Advent. As it is,
no other choices, but hey, we get an engineer on our first one. That's excellent. That'll, once we complete that, we'll be able to.
Limited, so we'll have to move fast.
We'll be able to start excavating, and it's going to speed everything up. So that's perfect. So let's take a look at who we're going to be
the Arctic.
Bringing along. So I'm a big fan of trying to get your soldiers ranked up as fast as you can, because that's what lets you unlock larger squad sizes through the guerrilla training center. So I'm going to be trying to bring everybody that I can on this mission that already is a squaddie, as well as one rookie just for kicks. This isn't my boy right here. I didn't customize him, so we're gonna call an end to this video. I'm gonna customize him off camera, and then we will come back for the Operation Blood Hand, That's actually kind of a badass name. We're going to be coming back for Operation Bloodhound at the beginning of our next episode. So I am signing off. Have a good one, guys.